Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to this video. My name is Chris. I'm a creative entrepreneur, and today we're in my creative outside office, aka the park. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how to work best with yourself so that essentially you can hit a flow state and you're not working on pushing through the resistance and the procrastination to get the job done, but you're actually using yourself in the best ability of being yourself and understanding what that flow is and when you're, creative in each element. So let's get started. Number one is, what do I mean by working with yourself? So for instance, on the drive here, I was starting to be like, man, I need some ideas for these YouTube videos, because after 18 days, I was kind of like, man, we've kind of talked about a lot of stuff that we're passionate about. What else are we going to talk about? And in driving here for the 15 minutes, I came up with a list of 4 ideas. And that brought me to the realization of the value of this video is I know that when I drive and when I'm in the shower, I'm the most creative. So outside of that, those are the times throughout my day that I use to come up with ideas. And typically I'll be in the shower and I'm just washing myself off, and then I'm like, oh my God, this idea hits, and I'm drawing on the glass and I'm mapping it out, and then I'm like, dude, I gotta get out of the shower so I can put this on paper. This is something we gotta do. And then the other instance is sometimes I'm just driving and I just get these ideas. So I got a GoPro mount for my car, and I use that for longer trips to create content. But even on days like today, I should have had it in there, and I could have just hit record and capture the vision and then bring it back. Or even I could start recording my videos, which I might do when I start traveling more in this season coming up. But overall, the key here is just learning how you operate and taking a pause just to look and figure out how you operate, because a lot of this stuff is in front of us. We're just not aware of it, or we haven't asked the right questions to understand what the answer is, if that makes sense. Before getting into creating content and stuff, I had no idea that driving and taking a shower is where my ideation comes from. But now as a seasoned creative, I'm like, I don't have an idea. I know exactly where to find one. Let's go, And it's just understanding that aspect of yourself and just viewing yourself and, understanding what do you do naturally without paying attention to it, but starting to pay attention to it and then applying that as part of your process. So number one is figure out when you're most creative. As I said, mine is when I'm driving and when I'm showering. Yours might be at the beginning of the day. It might be when you're getting high. It might be smoking hookah. It might be when you're drinking some beer or something. It might just be where you have no inhibition and you're just allowing yourself to flow. Just take some time and view abstractly, just kind of don't pay attention to it, but when you get creative, notice it, take note of it, write it down, and then move on, so forth. Next, we're going to talk about when, which part of the day you're most creative. For instance, I film most of my YouTube videos in the morning, because after I wake up, I get an idea in my head, I'm feeling super creative in the morning, I drink some coffee, and then I'm ready to perform on camera and break this stuff down, and my mind isn't thinking about all the other things. It's just very simple. And then once I finish that task, then it opens up and it explores. But understanding when you're most productive is key, because why would you try to do something that requires you to be productive when you're not productive, right? And sometimes my mornings aren't productive. If I do a lot the day before, my mornings are very unproductive, so I might do something in the evening as opposed to the morning. But just understanding which part of the day you're most productive. Is it the morning? Is it the afternoon? Is it after lunch? Is it after dinner? Is it after the workday? Is it after a yoga class in the evening? Is it before bed when you're planning your stuff for the next day? Just pay attention to when you're most productive and carve that time out for yourself. And even if it is in the morning before work, get up an hour earlier just to be more productive and work with yourself. Because when you find what time you're most productive and how you're most productive, you're just going to be able to knock out content, and you're going to be able to create stuff with ease, and you're going to be blown away with your consistency and the quality of what you're creating. And then last is figure out your structure. Structure is so important. And it's funny, and even in saying that, something that I learned is I can't have a hyper-structured life. But in contrast to that, I need some structure, because otherwise I'll just go off and talk about everything and have no idea what I'm talking about, but think I'm talking about something, and then I'm like, wait, where were we? So in knowing that, I understand that I need some structure. So that's just simply blocking my day off into hour blocks and putting stuff in those blocks. But also on days that say I have a client shoot, I don't do my typical morning routine. I replace that with the shoot or whatever time it is. And then I just know that I need to figure out what things I'm doing in the day and put them in 1 hour blocks. And then that's my day. And then I prioritize what's the most important thing to the least important and just simply knock those out. Even today, this would be time that I'd be relaxing, but I'm outside. And then on the drive here, I came up with these video ideas, and I'm like, let's film in the park. This sounds cool. Let's knock out some other videos. So you get the gist. But overall, like, you need to figure out if you're somebody like me who doesn't require a lot of structure. Like, for instance, in even making these videos, I come up with a topic, I come up with a hook, and I come up with 3 talking points. But aside of that, like, I just allow myself to talk and share effortlessly through my own experiences, versus you might be somebody who needs a script. You might need to read off, a paper in front of you. You might need some notes. You might need to rehearse. Like, just allow yourself to work with yourself and figure out your system and your process. Figure out if you need to come up with like 10 ideas at once and then execute those, or if you're more like loosey-goosey, kind of like me, on the flow of just like, what's inspiring me right now in life that I want to share with people, or what aspect of reality that's continually showing up in my life that I want to get off my chest and I want to process and share with the people. Like, you just have to understand your own process and your own flow, and then simply use that to work with yourself to create the most efficiency, because efficiency is simply just taking a pause, viewing yourself as you are with nothing wrong with you, and understanding when you're most productive, when you're not, how you're productive, how you're not, how much structure you need, and how much structure you might not need to create something special. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for watching the other videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Good luck.